Shalom, I'm Nama Rue. This is my husband, Rabbi David Rue. And today we're going to be talking about the Parsha of Noach, the second Parsha of the Torah.
In the Parsha it says, Sohar taseh lateva. You'll make a light for the ark, or as Rashi says, it's a type of gemstone that gives light. However it is, it's something that allows Noach to see what he's doing when he's feeding the animals. The animals have light a certain time of the day, which of course is a necessity for them. However, in the mystical traditions, Tzohar, a light, taseh lateva, teva also means word, that your words of prayers, your words of tehillim, your words of study should be enlightening, should be said, should enlighten you, should enlighten the environment around you, should be said with a joy, a brilliance. You should be able to look at a person's face and see joy and happiness radiating from them, the divine connection to God at that point.
I just think about when I first went to your class, and the lady next to me and we were like, he's just on fire. His eyes are lit up. Like, we felt very elevated by the light that you were shining. Just saying.
There is the Hasidic story told that one man learned, it says in several places, that if you refrain from a single word that's not said properly, that's not said with divine intent, you don't waste a single word for 40 days. There's no idle talk. For 40 days that you will receive Gilui Shechina, the divine presence will be revealed to you. So this man is very careful for 40 days, and at the end of 40 days, nothing. Can't understand it. So he goes to the Baal Shem Tov to find out what's going on, to present his problem. The man presents his story to the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov says, did you daven during those 40 days? Of course I daven. 3 times every day. Shacharis, Mincha, Maariv, and Shabbos, Musaf, Rosh Chodesh, Musaf. What? So did you say Tehillim every day? He says, of course I said Tehillim every week. I said the appropriate book for each day, and I finished Tehillim every week. How is it possible? Of course I did these things. And Baal Shem Tov says, those were your idle words. They were not said with brilliance and brightness. And therefore your words of Tehillim and your words of prayer were in fact your idle words. And that's why you didn't merit Gilui HaShechina. 100 years later, similar Hasidic stories told. The man finds the same mystical texts, and he's very careful not to speak an idle word for 40 days. And when nothing happens, he goes to see the Rajin, the Rebbe, Reb Yisrael, famous Rajin, as Malchus. They had plates of silver and gold and the finest foods all the time, and so on. And this poor Jew is looking at this and going, this isn't the person I can ask a spiritual question to. And before he's going to leave, the Rajin Rebbe is going to be taken someplace in there. They have 4 powerful stallions being hooked to his carriage, and before he gets in the carriage, the Rajin Rebbe goes over and he pets the stallions and talks to them. And the guy doesn't understand it. The guy walks over to talk to the Rebbe, but before he gets to the Rebbe turns to him and says, these horses haven't said a single idle word in the last 40 days. There's one more story that I'd like to tell, but with a slight preface. The Hasidim say that anyone that believes all the Hasidic stories is an apikoros. Anyone that does...
What's an apikoros?
A heretic. Anyone that believes all of the Hasidic stories is a fool. Anyone that doesn't believe they're possible is an apikoros, is a heretic. So, the following story I do not believe is possible, for various reasons. I don't go into it this time. but it's told about the Arizal. The Hasidim tell it about the Arizal. And the Arizal, after Yomim Noraim, is told that his prayers weren't so great that year, that this gives the name of a person in a specific village whose prayers were much more meaningful. So the Arizal travels very far to this village to find this person, and he finds him, and he asks, are you Talmud Chacham? Are you a Baal Kabbalah? Are you,
what are those things? Are you a learned?
Are you a great scholar? Are you a master of the mystical things? What special things do you do? I guess I really don't know anything. I don't do anything special. But when I entered Shul on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, I was overrun. I was overcome by the experience around me. And I don't even know the entire Aleph base. I only knew Aleph through Yud. And so I said, Ribono Shalom, Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Ches, Tes, Yud. These are the letters. You put them in the right order of the prayers. And then I would repeat this. And that's what I did for all of Rosh Hashanah and all of Yom Kippur. So, obviously, the moral of the Hasidic story is that he said this with great intensity, which was beyond the capability of even great tzaddikim to daven with such an intensity, and therefore his prayer had more value. We should think about this when we're davening, when we're saying prayers. There are other stories that can be told about this, and perhaps in another parsha, we'll have a chance to discuss the value of prayers said with great emotion and intention and kavanah. A good Shabbos.